Okay, let's continue explaining the next thing about services in Python in this time. Let's continue to create a package about the services in Python using the ROS2 package create. For that, ROS2 package create build type amend Python. If you want to specify the license, Apache 2.0, and let's call it PyServe with the dependencies of RCLPy and examples interfaces. Example interfaces. Okay, now that we got our package here, let's explain a little bit again what is a service. A service, for example, will have this structure. In this way, we can communicate using services. The service that we are implementing here is about summing two integers. Can I put this a little bit? We are summing two integers. These integers are a and b, and the result will be published. For example, let's clarify a little bit. Our message in services will have this structure: int 64a, int 64b. We will separate with triple dash, and int 64 sum. Int 64 sum. Sorry, 64 sum. This is the request, and this is the response. Every service has request and response. Even the empties have request and response. But the empty service has this interface, for example, or just don't specify anything. But in this case, we will have a request of two integers and a result of one integer. So let's update the package. Let's see what we can modify about the package. So gedit package, sorry, PyServe package XML, and here we saw that we can modify these things, but we will not do it. And also we can see if we could add some interfaces to our package XML, because we specify it over the dependencies in the way that we created the package. We don't need to specify anything more here on the package XML. So let's now move and write the service node. Let's then move to the cd PyServe package, to the again PyServe, and server member function.py, we call it here in that way. And let's explain what is happening here. Here we will import from the example interface server the add twins. Probably I will explain again where are the add twins. We are importing RCLPy, and from RCLPy node we are importing the node class. With this minimal service, what it's doing is that we are, let's say, instantiating the name of the service. In this case, it's called minimal service. The service uh, is being created and is called add twins, or we're calling the service add twins, the service. Uh, it is called add twins, and it will be when we receive the twins, we will go to the callback. Okay, the callback is put it here as a part of the class service, and with this callback we got a request and then also we got a response. So if you remember, I told you that the request got this form. It has an integer named A and another integer named B. So the request message will have request.a and request.b, and we will return in response the sum. And let's move to see if we can get something here about the the ROS2 service list. Currently there are no services probably. Okay, let's move to, let's see. Okay, in the ROS part, cd opt ROS humble on, I think is in I think is in sure. In example interfaces, in the service part, we have the add twins. Cat add twins serve, and here you see we got this message. Sorry, yes, it's the message of the service server. We got twins and we got a result. The inputs are A and B, and the result is sum. So when we finish the callback, we return the response, and the response obviously have the variable sum, and that's all. For the main, we will initialize node calling the service, spin over the service, and if something goes wrong or we decide to shut down everything, we will shoot the node effectively. And this is the call of the main function. So let's again see something if we can call this service server. For that we have to modify the setup.py. So let's see sorry, gedit. Let's put it a little bit here. Setup.py. Okay, here on the console scripts we will call it let's put it the same name as is here. So let's move again to the main folder. Okay, here we will okay, I was looking for the name of the file, cd pyserv. Okay, here, service server member function, sorry. Okay, server member function is equal to pyserv, sorry, pyserv server member function.py starting at main. Okay, We can put it by comma or not. I like to put the comma, but it's not necessary. Let's recall it again. We will have a Python file named server member function inside this folder on the saw. Let's call it or compile and call it. Okay. Okay. Let's move and compile everything again. Pfizer. Next source install. And now ROS2 run Pfizer server member function. Okay, our server is running. Let's try to call something and move the server some data. And ROS2 service call. Let's first see if the service is off. ROS2 service list. Okay, there is the service at twins. Let's see what type of message is in this at twins. Okay, this is the message example interface service at twins. And now let's try to call the service. ROS2 service call at twins, and the type of message is at twins. We will try to add something. A is 3 and B is 4. Let's see if we receive something below. Okay. Here is the information about the server. We received 3 and 4 and the response is 7. That's correct. So now that we have our service server up and running, let's try to move and write the service client. Gedit server client member function .py. Okay, and let's move and try to write a client node. Okay, here is our client. The same thing, we import sys, import some service message, rclpy, the node, and here we start writing our class for client. We first create a client with this type of service and the service name. Now, if the service is not up, we will try to wait some time, and when the service is up, we will add a request, and the request that will be sent is in this function. We will request A and B, and we will call the service here, and we will spin until the service is completed, the action about returning something to us. Here below we'll have the instantiation of the class, We will send the request using two argument vectors. So we will use the input of the Python package. And then on the logger, we will display the inputs and the result. And that's all. Everything, if everything goes something wrong or we'll shut down the client and exit successfully without cleaning everything in the terminal and also in the memory. Okay, let's move and edit the setup.py. Okay, here let's put a client member function, client member function, client member function. Okay, probably with that will be enough. Let's build the package. Let's run the service server. Okay, our server is running. Let's see if we can run our service client. Remember that we will put some arguments. Run pyserve client member function. We will put 2 and 3 as arguments that we specify at the beginning of the file. And if everything goes okay, we will have the sum here. 2 and 3 is 5. Okay, I think it will be enough for now. Remember, service servers and service client are the main, let's say, a complex node or a more complex node. And for the service to get a result, we need to finish the serve. We need to complete the full action. That's the main difference from services and actions. So in the next chapter, we will see how to implement our message about this service to interact. And in the future, we will implement also parameters and so on. So we will see you in the next video. Thank you.